All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. The schools are in the business of making our children fight each other, divide them, destroying their relationships. That's what they're doing because they're putting policies where they are attacking kids based on their skin color. That's what they're doing, right? They are promoting BLM things by, and not allowing other children to promote what they want to promote. They have policies that are no political things, but it only applies to the white kids. Everybody else could do whatever they want. And that's pretty bad. When you put a policy, put it in place, and that's it. And if you speak against that, they call you a racist. That's just how it is. You better not say anything or you are a racist. But what's happening right now is that these children are being raised in this environment where they don't understand. They don't understand why you're calling them names. They don't understand why you're telling them that they are oppressing people when they are simply young kids, 9, 10, 12 years old. They're like, dude, I want to play video games with my friend. I don't care about the color of his skin or her skin. But the big boys, the adults are passing their agenda on these children, and they are passing their hate, division, and destruction into our children. It's sad. I am glad and I'm happy to see many parents going to the school boards and flipping out. I love it. I love when parents go there and say, stop it. I just saw a man that went to one of those school board and just, wow, it was powerful what he said. So I love that. We got to continue to speak our mind, and we got to continue to talk because the silly people are putting regulations on our children. I want to share 2 videos and I want to react to it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. You guys know what to do if you want to support the channel because YouTube hates this type of content. You could do it by becoming a patron. You could also, use my Amazon affiliate links. They are down there. Click there, buy yourself something, and a little portion comes back to the channel. All right, let's do this. By the way, I really do appreciate everybody that support me, everybody that, watches these videos and things like that. They take me some time to do, but, when I see things like this, I'm always like, wow, this is sad. I hate what they're doing to our children, and we really need to speak against this thing. So, again, if you support here the channel, thank you so much. And let's go ahead and do this. Let me click here, click there. And here we are. Make sure you subscribe to the Jahir 6 Ride channel where I ride my motorcycle, and I just have a blast doing that as well. This is a young girl. This girl is 9 years old, and I want you to see what she says. I want you to really hear what she says. I want you to hear her voice, and I want you to hear how she feels. This is a new generation coming up, and this is how she feels.
Here again. The other day I was walking down the hallway at Lakeview Elementary School to give a teacher a retiring gift. I looked up onto the wall and saw a BLM poster and an Amanda Gorman poster. In case you don't know who that chick is, she's some girl who did a poem at Biden's so-called inauguration. I was so mad. I was told 2 weeks ago at this very meeting spot, no politics in school. I believed what you said at this meeting. So at lunch I went up to my principal to tell him about the BLM poster and that I wanted it down. He said it's not coming down. I was like, yeah, it is, because the school board said on May 25th, no BLM or politics in school. He said, that's weird. They were the ones who made them. I was stunned.
Wow. You hear that, right? Again, this is just a pure, simple factor that these rules only apply to a specific people and it doesn't apply to others. So when you do that, I mean, by definition, I would think that's racist. But again, that's just how it goes.
When I was here 2 weeks ago, you told us to report any BLM in our schools. Apparently, they're in our schools because you made the signs. I said there should be no BLM in schools, period. It does not matter the color you make the posters and the font you use. We all understand the meaning. It is a political message about getting rid of police officers, rioting, burning buildings down while King Governor Welch just sits on his throne and watches. We all know. Changing the font or the color of posters does not change the meaning. I am 9 years old and I know that. You expect me to believe that you did not know what you were doing by making these posters? Come on, people.
Wow. Wow. You know what I expect her to do? I expect her to go to a nice school where she has the supplies needed. She has the safety that she needs to have in there to be able to learn. And I expect her not to be here. I really not. I expect her to be playing with her friends right now, having a great time. That's what I expect her to be. But in the other way, look at what she's doing. She has to come there and speak because she's 9 years old and she's just sick of this. She's sick of the hypocrisy. And I mean, it's sad. It's sad that our children have to do this, by the way. It's very sad. It's a total failure on us.
I do not judge people by the color of their skin. I don't really care what color their hair, skin, or eyes is. I judge by the content or the way they treat me. MLK said, I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. That dream has come true. I do not care or look at the color of skin, but you make me think of it. I have Asian, Mexican, white, Chinese, black friends, and I don't care. I like them because some of them make me laugh, some are sweet and kind, sporty, or share the love of God. They are just my friends. You have lied to me, and I am very disappointed in all of you. You cannot even follow your own rules. If you're going to do that, why do we follow any rules we deemed unfit or ridiculous? I'm not following your mask rule anymore then. Get the posters out of our schools. Courage is contagious, so be courageous.
Wow. Wow. Give it up to her. That was powerful. That was very, very powerful. Let's watch this one right here. This is another one. Wow. That's just 9-year-old has to deal with this stuff. I love what you said, by the way.
Inside these schools. Despite the board's attempt to deny it, District 196 schools are quickly becoming a place where promoting activism is actually more important than promoting education.
You heard that? That's so true. They are promoting their belief. They are promoting what they want you to learn. They don't really teach you what you need to be taught.
I'll take you back to my first day at RHS this fall. The principal came out and gave us a heartfelt speech about equality and standing together. He began to list countless races, such as Latino, Asian, expressing how much they matter and how important they are. But never once did he mention a race or identity that reflects me, or half the kids that were in the class. Now, members of the board, I know you haven't been to school in a while.
That's interesting because, as we see this, like my children are Hispanic. I don't need no principal to go there and tell my kids that they are Hispanic. I mean, they know that. Actually, I tell my kids they're Americans, but obviously they are Hispanic as well. But I'm trying to think if any moment on my day I go like Fabian, that's my oldest one, or Lorenzo, my middle son, or Manny, my little boy, do you know that you guys are Hispanic? I don't do that. But apparently the school need to tell them that they are Hispanic, and they also need to tell them that because they are Hispanic, everybody else need to be nice to them, right? Because if they're not, they're being racist towards them. It's the propaganda and the nonsense they're passing our children. I'm sick of it.
And I know none of you or most of you don't have any kids left in the school district. But you must admit how uncomfortable it will be to be characterized just by your skin color on the first day of school and be thought that you were wrong just because of your skin color. So I'll never forget the look one of my friends gave me from across the room as we were sitting there listening to this blatant bias being expressed in the so-called equity statement by the leader of our school. To be clear, I don't need you to tell me that I matter, but hearing the condolences given to other races and leaving just one race out, inevitably you'll start to feel like you've done something wrong. And in our principal's attempt to unify us, he instead created unwarranted boundaries and barriers between his students, pitting us against each other based on characteristics that we can't control.
You hear that? That's one of the things that I've been talking about here for a while. So by doing that, what they're doing is that dividing our children. Again, our children should be having a good time. Our children should be learning. Our children don't need to be passed propaganda that is going to divide them and made them not like each other. And you see this kid here talking about that, which is just happened June 14, 2021.
In another separate instance, I was told that writing "All Lives Matter" on the whiteboard was political and could be seen as offensive. When I questioned the teacher after class, she told me that she didn't have an answer and she just had to erase it, and it was quickly erased.
Wow. Wow, when she questioned the teacher was like, "Hey, look, I could just feel that way. I mean, I could just see, not feel that way, but I could see how the teacher's position is. I just gonna erase it because if they find out, I may get fired. And if I don't get fired, people may come into my school and harass me. People may go into my house and harass me. People may call me a racist and harass me because I just, I don't want to put this on my board. Like, you see that? You have teachers that are scared. I don't know. I don't know the policy. I don't know. I just erase it. Erase it because I don't want the drama. That's pretty much how it feels to me that she was. Just erase it because I don't want the drama. So, again, it's pretty sad that we live in a country where you can't express your opinion, because if you express your opinion, you are considered something that you're not, and you are not allowed to defend yourself, right? Because if you defend yourself, then you are called a racist. So it's just a pretty sad
There are political
situation.
signs all over RHS about specific races that matter, specific sexual orientations that matter, and specific perspectives that matter.
Sexual
But when I
orientation
questioned the
to a kid.
RHS
I mean,
administration about how these signs were political,
how old is this kid, man? How old is this kid? Maybe 13, 14, and signs about sexual orientations.
they told me that they were supporting human rights. So when I questioned why the equity statement couldn't represent all students, they told me that to even ask that question was outlandish and offensive. And when
Even if you ask a question or even if you go against what they're saying, it's just offensive.
I asked why that was, they told me, quote, "Whites have a pretty good situation right now," unquote. So is that not racism? Disregarding my question merely because of the color of my skin. To be honest, after enduring a year of the people in charge telling me that I'm a racist and I'm privileged and pointing out our irreversible differences, I've never noticed race more. And it's becoming the first thing I notice when I meet someone, which has never before been the case. RHS administration confidently told me that RHS students and staff are happy with their equity statement. But from my experience in talking with other students, this is not the case. I know many kids who disagree with their teachers, but they're too scared to stand up because they're worried that their grades will be docked and their learning experience will be affected. My honors government teacher, I'm not going to say his name, but he's mentioned that Democrats care more about all people while Republicans only care about themselves. And he's also inferred to us that socialism is better than democracy. He even had a statue of a socialist leader in his classroom. I've been told by a lot of kids that they just stay silent and adjust their schoolwork to reflect an acceptable opinion to secure a good grade. I've been approached by multiple teachers who have told me in private that they just want to say that they agree with me and they support me standing up, but they can't say it in front of the class for fear of being disciplined by the administration in some way or losing their jobs. There is clearly only one way to think in this district, and that is that they are teaching their kids to shut up if they don't agree. Now, members of the board, I want you to take a good look at yourselves in the mirror tonight and ask, are you really standing up for the equality of all people, or are you just pushing a damaging political ideology on our students? A fellow coworker at my job, who, by the way, is of color, discreetly told me that the schools seem to be pushing a very leftist agenda in class. This proved that not everyone is happy with your school, and not everyone who isn't happy is white. Now, due to all these instances I've mentioned and many more that I can't fit in this 5-minute speech, I've decided to leave this district and continue school on a private Christian school online. And there will be sacrifices, and I will not get to walk in the graduation ceremony or attend milestones at RHS, but I will be able to learn in an environment that is not intent on punishing me daily for my skin color and political views. Now, regardless of how you take my speech, whether you just shrug it off as malarkey or Fox News talking points, I encourage you to think about it, because someday I'm going to be a leader. I may be the president, a governor, or just a professional golfer, but I will never stop believing that everybody has value, no matter their skin color or personal beliefs, and it's a shame that you're not going to be able to say that I was an alumni of RHS in District 196. Thank you.
Wow. By the way, this video right here, this guy right here on the left, he's the one that went viral over a critical race. But let me share my screen right here. Wow. I mean, I got nothing else to say. Maybe the kid is older than 13. He said about a job or something. But I got nothing else to say. You see that? These boards are creating division and hate between our children. And it's sad. And children should be children. And they're not being children. They have to come to boards and speak because they are being pushed something that they just don't agree with. And they don't understand. Really not. But again, this is silly adults pushing silly stuff on our children. Let me know what you think. Be involved in your children's education. Appreciate the support. And as always, God is in control.